my name is Jonathan Soul, and welcome to the Soul Train. Today, we begin research and a profile on the Foust name. We're going to start with Jacob Foust. Jacob had a huge family and loved a huge family reunion. He even had a newspaper article focused entirely on him entitled Old Timer. Jacob Foust. What a guy. Hop on board the Soul Train. All right, let's talk about Jacob Foust. We'll start off by taking a look at the family tree here. Jacob was married to Lavinia Young. They had 4 sons and 4 daughters. One of their daughters was Marjorie Foust. And as a reminder, Marjorie and Lewis were married when she was 15 and he was 19. And they would lose their first 2 children. And so Jacob and Lavinia would share in the grief of their child and the loss of their 2 grandchildren. Okay, so let's take a look at a map and see how they make their way across America. Jacob is born in Ohio, and we'll cover his father, Jonathan, in a little bit. Lavinia was also born in Ohio. Family made their way to Indiana. Jacob and Lavinia were married here. And then they would travel all the way to Galena, Kansas, where they heard about the mining boom. And they would settle right there in Galena and live there the rest of their life. Well, Jacob and Lavinia would start having children, and before long, their children would be having children, and they ended up with a huge family. Take a look at this article about their family reunion at Christmas time, 1889. 45 members of their family were present for Christmas with all of the fixings for a great dinner. Take a look at this cute little article. Well, who knows how many different parties and family reunions they had, but let's revisit this magnificent photo where my grandfather Harold is a little baby, and Jacob Foust is on the far left. The reunion is in front of the Lewis Solon home, but I bet Jacob Foust had something to do about organizing this huge and wonderful event. Let's take a look at this article in the newspaper written in 1910, highlighting Jacob Foust as one of the town's old timers. It's a full profile that you can see in the drive. I'll save it there. But as a reminder, it mentions here that he served in the Civil War with the Indiana 34th Regiment, and that he fought with Grant at Vicksburg. And so what a profile of Jacob Foust. And it ends with a summary, quite amazing. Their greatest concern now is to work for the Lord and induce their neighbors and friends to live Christian lives as the sunset of life is drawing near. They see in the beyond a beautiful city that is described in the 21st chapter of Revelations. Galena is proud of Jacob Foust, and the great family are among our very best citizens. Wow. Jacob Foust would pass away in 1914 after a brief illness with pneumonia. I'm going to share his obituary, which is a fine summary of his life, and also an image of his headstone at the Oak Hill Cemetery in Galena. We'll close our profile of Jacob Foust with this photo. It is one of my favorites. There's Jacob with his daughter and her family. My grandfather Harold is the baby right above him. Jacob Foust, veteran of the Union Army in the Civil War, miner, family man, church leader. Jacob Foust, a life well lived. Until next time on the Soul Train, stay on board.
Away down yonder in the state of Arkansas, where my great-grandpa met my great-grandma. They drink apple cider and they get on a jag, and they dance all night to the salty dog rag. They play an old fiddle like you never heard before. They play the only tune that they ever did know. It's a ragtime ditty and the rhythm don't drag. Now here's the way you dance to the salty dog rag.